There's so many misperceptions out there in the world of what high schools are and what's going on, and you got to get these people here or somehow put the students in front of them so they can see what the results are of this training.
There is something for everyone. There's a lot of talk about college, higher education, master's and even doctorate degrees, as well as people who really want to feed the world and the people who create the structure for them to be able to do so.
You're going to get all of this knowledge from the experiential stuff that you do.
That's actually one of the reasons that vocational agriculture became agricultural education, because it did morph, it did grow into a series of opportunities that weren't just sending people back to do some hands-on vocational training and vocational careers.
We must always have something like this available for future generations.
This is something they don't teach in any other department in the school.
STEM education is vital. And when I began my AgEd journey in 1974, that's what I did. I used STEM components, and through the AgEd program, we've been using that model for years and years and years.
The creativity allowed to ag teachers is really what makes and sets the program apart. We always have to create courses that kids want to take because they're electives.
I can't imagine in my wildest dreams not having this three-phase model where it's the education in the classroom, more education, and probably deeper education out in the field, and then the leadership component. No matter if it's being a librarian or being a dairy farmer, you need to have that hands-on training, because unless you feel it and you feel it emotionally and feel it physically, it's really hard to know what you want to do. We have people who have gone through the program and become bank presidents and many owners of their own businesses. So kudos to those who find themselves in leadership positions, because we couldn't do what we do in agriculture without you.
When the opening came here, I had already been through many vet school interviews where, you were the one person at the end of the table of 10 to 15 people with them all shooting questions at you. And I came here to Housatonic to my interview, and it was the same deal. There was about 10 people sitting there at the table ready to shoot questions at me. And right away I realized that this community takes its education very seriously. I think the big move, it was an interesting, again, historically, a community group and the teachers got together to decide what we were going to do about a new ag center. The point was made that we must attach to the high school and not be separate anymore. That was a huge emphasis, and that's what happened. And thus, all students could see what's happening in the ag department and in agriculture.
So we convinced that because we didn't have an exploratory program, which is so important for people to explore what they might want to do for a career someday, we convinced the committee that this is really important. We had to convince the school board and the administration, but we did. And why is it so important to explore? I think that's kind of like common sense,
I started the year with life skills. I didn't. George Wheeler.
That's when I came in for him. He was out there on his sabbatical.
But what my first assignment was when I came here is, write the life skills course for ag engineering for the lawnmower course. It's going to be a 10-day unit or whatever. I forgot what it was, at the time. Go write that up. Oh, okay. What it did was it became vehicle for students to feel comfortable down here with all teachers, go to any area, whereas they may not have done that if they were just left to their own devices. Life Skills started the year I came here in 1987, you could just see that improvement just change.
Our AgEd program has kind of led the way as far as adapting to either challenging situations or things that people are looking toward in the future, and we have always tried to stay ahead of that. I think with the inspiration and the dedication and experience of the new folks here teaching in this program, another part of our family, I think they're just going to rock it, and they're just going to keep on going. So the history is that we have stayed ahead of the curve, I think, for a very long time, and I only see that continuing to happen.
And Karen Davenport, people like that who took what this thing was founded on, learn by doing, getting involved, teaching to the moment, and having these kids go out into the community and stay.
Did you want to come back and work for the family business? The love of it. When I went to school, I had a really hard time going so far away. It was only 3 hours, and people laugh at me when I say so far away. And I didn't actually know I had such a love for it, and I didn't know that this is what I wanted to do until I left. And I know that's like a cliche, like everybody says that, but it was so true. When I left, I was like, the cows aren't in my backyard, like I wonder what the cows are doing. So we have systems that monitor some of our cows, like some of our higher risk cows of being sick and stuff, just so we can keep a better eye on them when we're not standing right there in the barn with them. And so I found myself like looking at them all day when I was like in class or something on my computer, and then I was like, okay. FFA really helped me on like finding my leadership qualities and definitely pursuing the leadership I need to take here. And like the FFA picnics were always here in the summer, so it really was more of a lifestyle than a choice. You know what I mean? Like every day we did something related to FFA or ag in our everyday lives. Oh, and there's my dad.
You know, that's the best part of getting up every day, because we're not only working for ourselves as individuals, but we're working to build the family business and give them the opportunity that we had to really prosper and enjoy what they do. There's nothing more rewarding than getting up in the morning and seeing a calf born or harvesting a crop that you grew. There's just a ton of rewards that follow farming. FFA was a real big part of our growing up. It taught us leadership skills, how to communicate with other people in the community as well as employees, how to become organized, and documenting all the things that we do so we can be efficient and look back and make sure that we're doing the things effectively. It's a great stepping stone for almost every young person today.
The FFA program really opened up my eyes to a lot of different things. I think the FFA gave me the leadership, or recognized the ability that you need to define what you want in life, and then you can manage your way into that. The cows are the critical piece of this farm. Cows are what generates the revenue here. You can't lose focus of cows. For me, the success lies in having a farm viable to be handed off to another generation.
The FFA program is of value because it is a public education program. There's a lot of value to a private education, but a private education is exclusive. And you have the opportunity through FFA to become part of the public school network. One of the things that is offered at Housatonic is that opportunity to take on responsibility. Not just the opportunities within FFA like public speaking and the CDEs, but actually getting out in the landscaping and learning how to appreciate work and execute work. I'm grateful to have the opportunity of the FFA and the opportunity of the high school, because I realize it's been a multi-generational effort to build what's there. And we have the opportunity and the responsibility to build upon that legacy to make it even better than it has been before.
If you took FFA, which has traditional like agricultural roots, if you just like separated the agricultural apart. The leadership opportunities and the entrepreneurial opportunities, I don't think you can really find that anywhere in any other part of the high school. You know, I bought equipment too, and I had my first loan when I was like 15. Mr. Burdick came down with a school truck and trailer and picked it up for me. You know, when I was on the farm, I would see the need for capital because agriculture is very capital intensive, so I was interested in the investment world and how people raise capital.
I think that the fact that we encourage strongly kids to take opportunities in these areas of leadership or kind of moving into a realm that is not as easy for them, I think that's a huge part of how they grow up.
I was kind of pushed out into the community, had to teach adult ed courses, and it just made you get out there and do stuff with the community. And I realized that that was the key, is getting out into the community or bringing the community in, whatever it took.
Our advisory council is also boots on the ground. Not only do they inspire us to consider new things, but they follow through step by step by step until we have a new facility or until we have life skills rolling or just new careers available for kids and the opportunity for the kids to go work on those ideas.
So we're at Houstonic Valley Regional High School, and I have been employed in Region 1 for almost 20 years. I was a history teacher here. I worked right on that hallway with my classroom, which is how I got to know everybody in the Agricultural Education Department, which is an incredible, life-changing department for our students.
FFA is really fun, and it's something that anyone can do. Like, it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter like what grade you're in. It's like everyone comes together and it's just really great.
It's taught me a lot, especially how to like take care of animals, how to interact with people. Because let me tell you, freshman year, I would not talk to anyone. And now I feel like socializing is just, it's improved a lot. It's a really fun experience to get hands-on, interactive. You go places, meet people, learn new things. It's really awesome.
We're really lucky here with what we have for a place to have FFA. Our teachers, our advisors are really into it. I mean, it's really their whole lives, and they put everything they can into it. And you could be a cook, and I think FFA is still like teaches you the best about growing up and honestly being a good leader.
Definitely working with people, getting to be around them, work with the community. I think that really helps prepare you for any career. You know, whether you want to go into agriculture or like I want to go into film and television, but I still need to know how to work with people no matter what, work with the community, work with my fellow classmates.
Yeah, these are electric. The FFA has definitely encouraged me to move on into this career path. It has come in useful. I've cut down trees with using chainsaws and stuff. That's something I do at home, but I work for an installation company. And I sometimes do a little bit of construction on the side.
The FFA teaches us how to be responsible and make our own goals. It also teaches us teamwork. I've been working with a lot of my classmates on how to make the maple syrup. We're like groups of 5 and stuff like that, and we would go out and do it.
I think that is such a great program because it actually teaches you some real life skills like how to run a meeting with parliamentary procedure and how to set an agenda and just work with different people that you don't usually work with in a classroom environment.
I just spoke to a student. I heard a fantastic presentation. The student said, I found my passion and that's what I'm going to do for a living. I mean, how good is that, right? What we really want to do from kindergarten to 12th grade is to have the students discover who they are so that they're really jazzed about figuring out what comes next after they leave us. It's transferable to any science, writing, you know, and journalism, yes, anything. You know, it awakens your curiosity, which is what we want to have happen, right? Ask questions, go find the answers to those questions.
Your freshman year, you can go into Intro to Ag, and you'll get the aspects of kind of half the programs they have, so you get an idea. There's basically something here for everybody.
I think that life skills, well, it's kind of self-explanatory. It teaches you life skills that you're going to need.
It's just a really awesome experience, especially if you don't know anything about anything. Like, you can come out of it knowing everything about everything at the end of the day.
I think it's a general type of skills because most of the stuff that we're learning here you could use anywhere.
To be completely honest, the greenhouse class was like an alternative And I mean, I love it though. I love working with plants. Like it's a small class, just me and another person, and I don't know, it's nice working with the plants.
The FFA is compiled of over 700,000 other members your age with a lot of your same interests, literally every state in the country. And it's just such an overwhelming but really awesome organization to be a part of. So whatever opportunities you get, whether it be on the chapter, state, or national level, make sure to take it.
They do everything here that is involved with agriculture, including plants and forestry and mechanics and engineering and food and nutrition. And it's so fantastic because students get very hands-on, yet highly scientific, highly technical experience from the time they're 14 or 15 when they walk in the door until the time they graduate.
I think FFA is definitely something that's important. We got to keep it going for as long as we can.